Hello and welcome back to Oolykee Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic mod Monday, and today we have Yugo 45, Sarajevo apartments and stalinkas. You can never get enough of those stalinkas. Of course, the first disclaimer, there's no preference to these buildings, there's nothing I wish to do here, promote anything. No, it's just something that caught my eye. Actually it is promotion because I'm thinking that some of these buildings are quite interesting, so maybe you're gonna find it interesting as well. Also, it's gonna be a little bit less. I think we have 9 mods in this mod Monday because I covered a little bit more in the last episode. That's just discrepancy of when I release the videos. Hopefully it's gonna be more on track from now on. Right, let's get cracking. First, Đuro Đaković housing settlement Sarajevo by Equinox Nova. Now, okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about personal stuff and architecture in former Yugoslavia. This is from, of course, my favorite city in Yugoslavia, even though I'm from today's Croatia. I fancy Sarajevo quite a lot. I think it's my favorite city in former Yugoslavia, but I have a special place in my heart. Anyway, the architecture, in the beginning it was horrible, panels and this kind of stuff, but later on when we got these brick apartments, they were actually quite good, and as far as I care, even up until this day, my favorite buildings that I lived in, brick buildings from the late socialist era and socialist communism in the Balkans, in Yugoslavia. So this is something that I will be using a lot in the future. They might be, it's kind of similar to the buildings that I grew up in, and they're quite high. They're high standard, higher than I live in now. Right, so I'm gonna read a sentence or two regarding this. It's the package contains 3 different buildings for flat terrain and 1 for sloping terrain, shops, canopy, 4 sizes of decorative squares. We have decorative squares here. Some of them are a little bit on the invisible side because they require perfectly flat terrain, and we're gonna try to do something about that real quickly. I'm gonna try to demonstrate this first. So if we go to F2 and perfectly level an area, we're gonna go and demonstrate this square thingy first. So if you go to the regrowth grass, and then we're gonna go for these squares like we mentioned before. This is all unpaused. Let's finish constructing them. So we have red squares. By the way, my little hometown, it also had red squares similar to this. So this is really something I'm gonna be using myself. You can see 4 different red square. I think they're made from like brick tiles, red tiles, and as well as in my hometown we have a central square in this kind of style. Okay, so what do we have? We have the canopy. Canopy would be elevated part of the square, I believe. It can also be lifted up over the ground, and then we have something that I'm really interested in. Samoposluga, yeah, this looks like C, and this looks like Samoposluga would be self-service or like a shop. Let's just go with a shop, and you can find these kind of shops in most of the cities in the Balkans. Actually reminds me a lot about, well, almost everywhere where I lived. It's quite beautiful. Now we have 4 types of buildings. You can see here I made a little bit of boob. I made a boob there just to demonstrate something. You have 4 different types of buildings. We have this building, 42 people for 1 floor building. Well, it's a little bit trickier than that, but let's get back to that one later. 42 people here, we have 28 here, and we have 28 there. Now, one thing to mention, Sarajevo is built it's surrounded by mountains on all sides, and you have some of the buildings built on a hillside similar to, well, let's call it this nipple, this boob here. So if you go to the building, that will be the last one here. It's called dug in. It has in the brackets in the back dug in building. Now it looks like this on a flat terrain. Now if you want to build this properly, it should be on a little bit of a sloped terrain here. So if we try to build it on a sloped terrain, you can see how it's slowly going out. out of the ground. So something like this potentially would be the best place for placing it, but of course you're gonna have to have the entrance to the building on the hillside. Maybe this can be changed. Not sure how this works out. I think the entrance, the footpath needs to be on the ground level, so maybe I have no idea. I have no idea if we can get the building to have entrance on the opposite side, because if we try to build it here on the ground level, it's a little bit trickier. But if we try to build it here, if we could have a ground level on the opposite side entrance to this building, that would be nice. We can also unpause this and real quickly give it a test. If we go to, let's say, mud paths, it will be a little bit tricky. Okay, I'll have a talk with Equinox. How are these buildings? He's gonna be aware of this video, so we're gonna have a chat with this, how we can implement these buildings a little bit better, how he can implement, or us as a players. Anyway, this is extremely beautiful model. Rest of the buildings, as you can see, they are functioning perfectly fine, and I'm quite you're gonna see those in my let's plays. Now let's move on. Oh, let's see the price tag on those bad boys. So we have a price tag here of 20,000. I can straight away tell you that this is quite expensive. 20,000 for the bigger ones. This one has 13,000, yet the same capacity. This one has 28 people, and it is the most expensive one. That would be this one over here. This is the most expensive one. It does have a little bit. Why is this one more expensive than this one? I'm not sure, but I'll have a chat with Equinox about this and we'll see. This one is a little bit on the pricey side. This one is a little bit cheaper, I believe, so this one will be third from the back. This is the most one, the one that is most price effective compared to capacity. But what does it mean regarding the vanilla buildings? 42 people, 13,000. We have the one over here, 19,000, 42 people, so between 13 and 19,000. If we go to vanilla buildings here and try to find something in the same ballpark, so we have 33, 4,000, we have 43, 5,000, and this is kind of comparable to these buildings. You can see that it's quite more expensive. That means in my book more realistic, these modded buildings. So definitely something gonna see in my let's plays. Oh, fun fact, Đuro Đaković is the, let's call it, a war hero from the Second World War partisan uprising, and a lot of factories are also called Đuro Đaković, similar to this neighborhood in Sarajevo. And even my hometown had a harvester factory called Đuro Đaković as well, so heads up, close to my heart. Monument Vladimir Ilyich Lenin by Padlas. It's no secret that in every city in Soviet Union there was a monument to Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, showing us the way. Unfortunately, there is not much. There's no such thing in the core of the game, as there are no mods. I decided to fill this gap. Yeah, there are quite few Lenin monuments. Few, not too many of them. I believe there's no model like this. This is quite nice model. I was actually looking for a difference between them. It looks like the height is the only difference. Height of the monument potentially, but definitely the pedestal or the structure here. I can see, yeah, they're definitely a little bit bigger. Now, price-wise, if you go to your mod section, we have 5, 8, 12, 12 and a half, 8 and a half, and 6,000 rubles would be the smallest one being probably this one over here. As you can see, height wise they are comparable, and the last one is barely to the first one's feet. So 3 different monuments here. So what kind of benefits we get from them? This is 2.7%. the cheapest one has 2.7% to 100 meter distance, 3.1% and 113 meters distance, influence distance, and 3.8% and 133 meter distance. So this is definitely really beautiful model. But how does it compare to vanilla ones? If we go and find the vanilla model in the section over here and go find some vanilla ones, this is 9,000 and this one is, they are more effective. Lenin monuments in the vanilla are more effective, but the distance is a little bit shorter. That goes for both of them, both of the Lenin original Lenin monuments. But anyway, this is something that you're gonna see in my let's play. So if you want to learn more about this model or this mod, go in the link in the description of the video. Russian drunk folks, old Europe pubs and beer halls for the early start. There's a description in Russian as well. I'm gonna read the English one because my Russian sucks. And of course, since I live in Ireland, there's a big pub culture here, and they're close to my heart. Don't visit them too often, but still close to my heart and my home. A set of European drinking establishments for early start. There are 5 buildings in the set. Restaurant looks like a Wild West saloon, beer hall, little old pub. You know what? I'll let you guys go and read. I think the Russian drunk folks deserves a little bit of attention there. So if you have any more questions about this mod, more than I will present in this video, please go and check it out. Now these mods look like this. We have one beer hall, but they're all more or less similar or same. This one is for, oh, this is definitely not a winter pub. We have this one over here. Of course, we have a small one in here as well, and the smallest one, well, it has barely any seating space here. This is obviously for standing pub. Right. How much do they cost? I would assume that they're quite affordable because they are for early starts. As you can see here, 3,300, 2,700. This was 3,001 pub, and the 300 rubles the other one. Obviously the capacities are quite low on the smaller ones, and of course 1,200 for the last one. What can we say about it? Construction, wood, price, cheap. They do the work. If you what do I think about that compared to vanillas? Actually, compared to vanillas, if we go to our citizens over here and we find where the actual pub is, and we compare it to vanilla pub, it's actually quite comparable. There's one of them costing 2,700, and this concrete structure is similar in price, so definitely realistic price on these bad boys. Equinox.Nova or Equinox Nova, Emergency Room Sarajevo, Hitna Pomoć Sarajevo, Emergency Room Sarajevo. Right, so this is a basic description of this building. What we can, this is just a little bit of a heads up for Equinox Nova. You can put like where the, what part of Sarajevo this comes from, because it's a quite, I don't know what kind of design this is. It looks a little bit like brutalism, but I don't know if brutalism supports colors to the concrete, the construction structure, the concrete construction structure. Also, this is a building that is made without any collisions to it. So if we go to Emergency Room Sarajevo, it is kinda even supposed to be built on the side of the hill, because there are different levels to this building that can be uncovered if you put it on the angled terrain. You can see here where the pillars are. So if you want to play around with this and put it on a higher ground, you will have additional floor layout. As you can see here, you have lower levels to this building. But I'm gonna leave this to you. Like I said, the Sarajevo itself was built on a really hilly terrain and does support this kind of infrastructure and this kind of constructions. So if you want to build your own Sarajevo, definitely these are mods you want to check out. But what about the price tag? Everybody likes the price tags. Is it too expensive? Is it too cheap? 35,000. How does it compare to vanilla hospitals? Vanilla hospitals are, well, the same. This is the only hospital in vanilla we have, and it's more or less the same price tag. So definitely not a cheaty mod, definitely something you will see in my Let's Plays. Now link in description, check out and rate the mod. So the song goes: they say the wonders of the world are the African pyramids. They say the wonders of the world are big rivers of India, but none of the wonders were as big as when the old man parked in the backyard Yugo 45. So we have Zastava Yugo 45 by Trucker Czech. Now this is really famous song in the Balkans from Zabranjeno pušenje, Yugo 45, and this is iconic car, Yugoslavian car, Yugo 45. I think this might be one of the first, if not the first mod for this model of a car. Now of course you have the whole rainbow, all the rainbow colors that you wish, and there's even more of them. You can see all the color schemes we have, and of course we're gonna check it in the personal car section. All the way in the back we have all of these colors. I think that would be like 8 of them, and plus a couple of more. That would be around, I believe it's around 11 colors that this car comes into. This is iconic car. This is alpha and omega of Yugoslavian architecture. It sucked. It used more oil than fuel, but it was something domestically made with domestic design, genius and engineering, and I think it's more or less close to everybody's heart from the Balkans, mine as well. So how much does it cost compared to normal vehicles? If we go to personal normal cars, you can see that they cost around 1,000 rubles. We have some Czechoslovakian ones going over up to 1,500 rubles. What about Yugo? It's more or less the same. It's 912 rubles at the moment. That will be comparable more or less compared to some other models here, so quite realistic in price. Definitely my favorite model this Mod Monday. Please check out the link in the description of the video for more details on this. Large construction office by Benser. You have a description in Russian. I'm just gonna go through the English one. Large construction office. The building is based on a real construction office built in 1960s in the town Lokvica. Lokvicia. Would be a puddle, I believe. Anyway, Poltava region, Ukraine. Capacity 25 vehicles, fuel tank 30 tons without a helipad. I hope you liked it. Happy use. You have, of course, comments to this, and of course it's highly rated mod because it's a beautiful section. I love that the fueling station is here in the middle, so everybody can refuel straight away when they go. Beautiful model by Benser. Not a new thing for Benser because he always makes really beautiful models. Right, so let's see a little bit more details on this. Now, can you put a helipad? This was my first question since he said that since it was said that there's no connection to this. So let's try if we can get a heliport here. Nope. Looks like it cannot be even connected to it, but that's perfectly fine. I'm not big on the helipads. Helicopters, that's I know, Copti is already writing our angry comment, but the helicopters cannot be assigned to this one. At least I don't see the means of doing so, so there's no helipad for this one. Maybe it's even for the better because, you know, you can use just the mod as it was intended to. What about the price tag on this bad boy? Now let's see, just cover the 25 vehicles. Yes, we have 6 times 4, 24 plus 1 vehicle. And if we find the model over here, we can compare the price tag. Right, it would be under SMU, 35,000 rubles to build 35 tons. I don't know what's with these capacities. Why did this? Okay, it's 35 tons. Okay, so description of the mod is a little bit wrong because it has 35 tons, it says 30, but it doesn't really matter. It's a beautiful model. Now, compared 35,000 rubles, if we go to normal construction offices, which we would find over here, and then construction office vanilla, it's 6,500, but I don't think it can be compared to this beautiful building here. So it's quite more expensive. Definitely not a cheaty model or anything like that. You know, compared to this one, the vanilla is cheaty one. Definitely beautiful building, and of course you're gonna see this in my Let's Plays. Right, so here's a big one, automatic nuclear industry by Intro. This is more or less what we have in vanilla, but it's just automated. It's robotics and robots doing most of the work, and it has increased power consumption. This is probably the best to be used in the later game, in the later dates. What I'm gonna say about this, looks like they're mostly vanilla buildings over here, and they also have 0 workers, so they would be working as long as they have power production. Some of these kind of buildings are already not really automated fully, but they have significantly cut down the worker amounts. So because of the, you know, even the diamond industry these days, it has automation on a high level. This one would be definitely realistic, probably in the future, but definitely something that would be some kind of late Soviet Union or 21st century Soviet Union buildings. Now it has a little bit, these are 2 models, 2 mods. Actually, all of them here are from one, and the mine is from the other one. Mine is also automated. You need to put mechanism there, and it's going to be producing what needs to be produced. In this case, it's uranium or. Now the buildings, we're gonna compare some of them because there's quite few of them. I'm gonna compare, for example, nuclear power plants. How much do they cost compared to the normal vanilla ones? So if we go all the way to the end, we have these nuclear industries. So we have automatic chemical plant, we have auto double nuclear block, 680,000 and 400,000 for the vanilla ones. If we go for power production and go to power plants, we will try to see here single and double reactors. They're all the same. They're more or less the same price, and I believe rest of the buildings would be the same price. Now, controversial as it is, if you build these in 1960s, it probably wouldn't be so realistic, but if you build it later in the game, it might fit, might just fit. Now, if you have any issues with your population number, worse, if you have any problems maintaining your population up and education up in order to run these, you can always use this mod. Now if you want to learn more about this mod, you have a link in the description of the video, and you can contact Intro about this one. Link in the description of the video. Right, again, texture issues. I believe this is still on my side. I'm gonna confirm this as well. With Abelian Hike 852 Armenian corner stalinkas. Now if you go and check out the link in the description of the video, this is absolutely fabulous. It's a little bit on the black grayish side, dark gray side, similar to the foundation here, but unfortunately for some reason I'm having issues with textures here. You can see how it's breaking up. This is a wood texture showing the whole building now. I believe it has to do something with the other mods, but I believe I am due to remove most of my mods and resubscribe to them, some of them, because it looks like some of the mods are causing these issues, and I'm 100% sure that this is not gonna be the issue with you guys. It's probably because I have probably even over 1,000 mods, subscribed to over 1,000 mods, and some of the textures are leaking to this, and it's always with Mr. Abelian Hike, and it's definitely not his fault, because the pictures that you're gonna see in the link are extremely beautiful. Now this is stalinka. It should be dark gray, which I think is gonna fit perfectly with also Comrade Joe ones. This is Armenian one, Armenian stalinka. So I'm just gonna read the comments here. Corner stalinka based on a real building in Yerevan, Armenia, accommodates 208 workers with 97% of living quality, has a small pool inside. Now the pool would be over here. It could be, I'm not sure if it's a swimming pool or is it just like a fountain or something, but it's extremely beautiful. Definitely something that I'm going to be implementing with the rest of the stalinkas when I build the cities, stalinka based cities or neighborhoods. Now how does this building compare to vanilla one? If we go to the mods all the way in the back, and if we find this Armenian stalinka, it's 53,000. Now bear in mind, I'm gonna tell you straight away that the most expensive vanilla buildings are just slightly just hair over 20,000. So even the ones that have just under 200 worker capacity, so this is quite expensive, but stalinkas would be. Now, if we go and check out the buildings and actually compare it, and I was of course wrong, because the biggest ones here are just under 20,000, that would be 17,500 around here. So definitely quite realistic building. It does take even more space. This is extremely positive. This is what I wanted to say. Now I'm gonna say that this would be easily one of my favorite mods. Unfortunately, Yugo 45 was there, so Yugo is the one that wins for now. But this is a really beautiful building, and check it more in the description of the video. Check about it more in the description of the video. Right, let's get to the good stuff. Большереченский district, район, Большереченский район, заселён. Заселён means inhabited. Population version of the map. The previous industrial region had a great prospect. Okay, there's a huge description of this map that I'm gonna skip right now. I will just tell you that there's several different cities that are there. It would be the largest one, Большереченsk administrative center. That would be the city that you're watching over here, and then you have Sovetsky, you have coal mines village. You have Novorechensky, you have Putevoy, and Bolshivody, Beregovoye, and the last one will be Lesnoe. Lesnoe, right. What about Lucenz? Right. There's actually more. Oh no, there we go. Lucenz. Earlier, these territories belonged to another state, and the foreign name population 1,800. That would be. This was the borderline previously. Okay. So we have a map. Map is actually a little bit on a flat side. That's not a negative thing. It has a lot of potential to create a lot of forests if you wish. I would definitely forest this area up as much as possible. Of course, you have the small villages that we mentioned before. And I'm a big sucker for the when the modder builds the cities themselves and then we work around it. As you can see here, we are in the northern part of the map. I'm gonna go around and check the borderlines. You have a couple of nice hillsides here, well, hillsides, probably where the most of the resources are. I'm just gonna go around the map a little bit and explore. There's a big river in the middle that covers all of this. Let me see, what is this? Ah, this is okay, cool. Okay, right. That's another one. That's another village. Right, this would be the coal mines. Coal mines around here. Let's see if it correlates where the actual coal is. And yeah, we have some coal here. It's actually not the biggest source. We have a couple of other sources on the map. Right, let's check out the resources. So coal. We have four regions where the coal is found. You can see one here in the north, and the rest of them are in south part of the map. Iron, not a lot of iron. Oil, it's a decent amount, and most of it, no, all of it is on land, so you can easily extract it. Uranium is mostly in the center, close to the capital city, and then bauxite is a little bit on the northwestern part of the map. Now, this is really, I like these open maps, probably because I played too many hilly maps and now my heart draws me to these ones. I did a little bit of a testing and it's quite enjoyable to have, you know, free hands to to build whatever you want with these maps. And this is absolutely beautiful map. It has a lot of these river islands that I would use as some kind of tourist attraction, maybe put even hotels or build a city, a small tourist town in the middle of here. You can even connect it with bridges or maybe even boats and transport people here, you know, workers for the shops and that, hotel stuff and the rest of it. But also you can do, you know, whatever you want with this one. Anyway, this is my favorite map this Mod Monday. There are other ones that you should check out, but this is definitely my favorite one. I will end it here, and I'm gonna say just that, guys, we have amazing community. You should go and check out other mods as well. There are a lot of beautiful models that came out in last week. This is just some of them that I had time to cover. Now, if you like this content, don't forget to press the like button or subscribe if you didn't. If you want to support the channel, you have the description of the video. So I'm gonna say thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, comment section, hit it, and if you want to support the channel, like previously mentioned, you have a link in the description of the video. Happy Monday, guys, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye.